Well, today is Monday, and the workers have left, so we're going to go down into the basement and see what the status is in the basement. Again, same flight of stairs going down. But you can see the floor, the laminate down here is almost gone. And we have just a little bit left here of the raised floor area just outside the stairs. We're leaving the double doors here for access to the new furnace, which is now here. We're going to go through over here. A lot of cables on the floor here. Last night I came with a friend of mine and we managed to get my internet up and running, so I do have internet here, which is good because it's faster and I will be able to upload my video quicker, I hope. Over this way, you can see there's a lot of wood here that they're saving for possible use. My cable modem is right here on the box, just a temporary measure. That sink is going to go away, although it'll probably be replaced with something inside the bathroom that's going to be built probably in this area here. It's probably going to go in that corner because I'm going to want to have a dryer, and there's electrical hookups there for a dryer already, so it's going to go in this area here. Be bathroom, toilet with a vanity, and then the hookup for the washer, probably a hookup for a dryer, although I won't put a dryer in, and it's going to have a tiled basin for the Lego to dry in, so it's not ruining a table or floor or something along those lines. Of course, my central home vacuum system, which I thought was kind of funny. Sump area, which is going to get replaced probably coming Thursday. The tankless water system here, which is all set to go. We've got 120 degree water coming out pretty much on demand. It just takes a little bit of time to get to the faucet. However, we are going to be looking at putting in a recirculating circuit, which will come on at a preset time and start circulating hot water in a circuit back to the unit. And that way when you go in the morning, let's say you normally shower between 9 and 10 in the morning, you have it come on at 8:50, and then by the time you want to take a shower, it's already hot. You don't have to worry about it to get warm. I like that idea. We've got a lot more wood over here that's being saved, and I got my currently running dehumidifier. Because over here, all the standing water that was over here, in a thin layer, is gone. This is a dry area now. They've pulled all the nails and stuff out of the floor. So the only thing left is they need to pull that bottom piece of wood out from underneath the framing to replace it, or they might seal it. We're not sure yet what's going to happen there. Got a lot of hanging wires for where the room used to be here. This window here, we're going to put an egress window in, so we're going to dig down a couple of levels of the stone and frame that off so that we will be able to go ahead and have an egress window there. Now it's going to exit underneath a deck that's currently in place. So come springtime, the deck is going to need to get modified a little bit so they can dig out there and dig the egress area out and then put a hatch in the deck so you can get out. Over this way, you can kind of see here, the furnace is back further. It used to be between this pole and this pole. You can barely see that pole. In this area, you can see there's a line right there, and then this is a drain area. It's all more usable space for me. We are going to be walling off a lot of this section. I mean, the bathroom is going to be up here, but beyond that, there's going to be a walled off area that comes down here and goes to right about through here, in between the entryway to the crouch space and this pipe, which is for the radon mitigation system. So that's where the wall is going to go approximately. And I'm considering putting access to that corridor, if you will, in the bathroom. It's going to be over here, and perhaps way down at the other end over here. Probably a couple of different access points. Also over here, you'll see I do have a fireplace down here. Now, I was originally told by the inspector that this was non-usable because there was a gas insert above it. But I found out from the masons that the flue for this is separate from the flue for the gas fireplace. So this can be used. So we're not going to block this off like I originally thought. So we'll have a fireplace in the basement. Not sure if I'm actually going to use it as a fireplace, but it will be here. And then over here is another area that was at one point a room. There's still some plastic down in some places where they put it down for a seal, which was a good thing. But they're leaving framing up because that's where, we're going to have framing go up. So if it's already there, might as well keep it. At this end, we do have a drain over here that sticks out. And over here, we've got the older sump pump. He's going to look in to see if that works or not. And we're probably going to retain it and make sure it does work. So we'll have 2 sump pumps down here. And then what I'm thinking, because this drain over here, we can't cut that down. So it's rised up about an inch, maybe 1.5 inches from the floor. And that's a trip hazard. So what I'm considering doing is building or putting in a desk in this area across the whole wall, which will cover that a little bit and also the sump pump. Now I'm probably going to still have something built over the sump pump so that it's not immediately visible. And over here, I'm not sure what we'll do with this. Maybe I'll have a filing cabinet near it or something like that. But basically, that way I won't have to worry about raising the floor up. Because I think one of the reasons there might have been a raised floor in here was to get over the pipe for the sump pump and over this drain as well. So we'll do that. Now there's this little dorky little door here. This door leads to, well, not much. There is a pipe on the right side in there, and at the very bottom there is the water meter. Now that water meter is readable from the street. They do not have to come into the house. What we're going to do with this, because the floor is going to be not raised anymore where it is here, they're going to pull this out. They will lower the door 1 inch or 1.5 inches, 2 inches, whatever it is, and then reframe the top to make it look good. Over here, this section of wall with the vent in it is contiguous with the brickwork for the fireplaces. So that probably will be kept, although we need to find out about this vent a little bit. But this little section over here, which is like a little corner, was originally in here, and then the original water tanks were on the other side. Well, if we come around, you'll see that there is actually nothing there anymore, and so there's just framing. That's going to get pulled out as well. So that will be additional space. Probably I'll make it a walkway towards the bathroom, which is going to be back over here, and then we'll have just storage and other types of places. I'm not sure exactly what is going where in the basement once it's finished. Probably Monday, or I take that back, probably sometime tomorrow, because today's Monday. I will talk to the guys who are doing the remodel, and we'll kind of sketch out what I can do down here, what kinds of things I want to have done. I'm probably going to, once I get an idea of what kind of space I have, I'm going to take a couple of days and talk to the various people, and if people want to comment and give me suggestions as to what I can do with this space, I have no problem with that. So in the meantime, they're probably going to do things like they're going to continue framing this wall, because it's going to need to be framed, and so like they know that it's going to happen. Without my making any choices, that framing still needs to occur. So it'll give me a little bit more time to come up with my game plan for what I want everything to look like. Now, we're going to do something a little different here. We're going to extend this video a little bit, and we're going to talk about the spaghetti western that is the wiring in my basement. So as you can see, I have all sorts of wires hooked up to this switcher on the floor for the internet. We are trying to trace some of the lines. We now know that a lot of these lines lead to the bedrooms. But you can just see the number of wires that are up in this area. Just this massive tangle of wires. And apparently these are all phone wires in like this phone switching system, which I've never seen in a home before. Coming this way, we've got wires going this way, several different places. Coming this way, you can see there's just massive amounts of lines going to different places down here. And some of it is just bad, poor form in how things were done. We're going to look down here at a specific spot that was pointed out to me over in this old room. And if we look up, we'll see just like a junction box with some stuff sticking out of it that probably shouldn't be. An even worse situation is right here, where I've got just wires hanging. And that sort of story is like everywhere. Like even right over here in the corner, we've got some wires coming through, and it's probably going to the new master bedroom, which is just over there. But there's all sorts of wires everywhere, and I don't want to say it scares me, but it seems useless. And I want to get it cleaned up so that I don't have to worry about things. I want to get things labeled. I want to map it out so I know where things are. I perhaps am going at it a little bit more aggressively than I need to, but it just seems to me that like there's so many places where there's just bad decisions have been made. Even if there's no electric going to this little box here, it shouldn't be like that. So that's going to be a major thing that's going to happen at some point. I'm not really sure how to tackle that 100%. I've got a couple of feelers out to a couple of people, and we will see what might be one of the better options for dealing with it. I also have this piping system here, which is plastic. This is for the central vacuum. And so this one led into the room that was over there, and it's just hanging there now. So we're probably going to pull that off and seal it at this junction here, and then we may reinstall it somewhere after we decide what we're doing. But as you can see, there's a lot going on. Now I'm going to pause the video, and then we're going to go out into the garage, because there's an interesting story in the garage. Okay, we are now in the garage, and you can see the full dumpster of all the stuff that's been torn out of the basement. And that is only from the room demolition. It has nothing to do with the HVAC people. They removed their own waste themselves, so they did not use that dumpster. But you can see over here, this is the problem. So originally, up here was, or no, I'm sorry, down here was the vent for the dryer that's on the first floor. And that vent came up from that point, which is fine. But then it connected up with this other pipe. You can see the hole right there. And what this pipe is over here is a vent for a gas fireplace that's in a room over there. And that came in over here and then vented into the ceiling. Well, not a bad thing. However, this is a special pipe apparently. And I don't know if you can see it, but inside that open end, there's another pipe inside. The interior pipe is used for venting the hot air from the fireplace, and the exterior circle, that area around the interior pipe, is used for two purposes. One, it insulates that temperature of the hot air coming out, so you're not going to have any problems with a hot pipe or anything. But also what it does is it provides the air for the fireplace. Now, when they put the dryer into that, they only vented it into the outer section, not the inner section. So they were venting dryer lint into the exterior wall of that piping. And so there's dryer lint all the way along both of these pipes likely, clogging it up. I mean, you can see to a certain extent the clog here on that one pipe. So this whole section is going to have to get removed and replaced because, well, you don't want to burn the place down. So that's something that's going to happen before much else happens for that fireplace. Luckily, the weather has been gorgeous, unseasonably warm. I hear we might hit 80 degrees tomorrow. And let me tell you, for November and 80 degrees, that's probably 30 degrees warmer than we normally would have. I mean, it was 70s today, and it was just gorgeous. Even though, as you can see, it's fall, we have leaves have fallen down. I'm going to cut this off. It looks to be the longest video I've done to date. And thank you very much.